This is Center for Research in Igbo History and Culture. Today is Sunday, the 15th of August, 2021. And I have with me here somebody who is no longer a stranger to these studios and anybody who has been following our work here. Chief John Uderike Egwuonwu Akajiodumweri has been a regular visitor to our studios and a popular discussant of topics having to do with Igbo history and culture. Chief, you are welcome to our studios.
Thank you.
Welcome to Area House. Chief, there is this concept that have been having difficulties comprehending is something that is popular around here. It is the concept of Ekwolo. What is Ekwolo?
Okay. Thank you so much, Pastor Agafe. I'm really Chief John Uderike Egwuonwu, formerly known as Apoko Mwere, now Akajiodumweri. Ekwolo.
Are you saying, Chief, you are no longer known as Apoko Mensa?
No, that is during our school days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obi has now become a man.
Yes, that is it. And this is a man and a man. So, you see,
Yes.
Ekwolo, as it implies in English, is as created by God in short. From creation, it started. Ekwolo is like a lineup, picking group of people like a party. They come together with one aim to do something good or bad. It is ready to do something good, but on the course of this journey, the Greek leaders cannot convert those things into bad omen for their own selfish interests. So that's what I'm trying to say, that Ekwolo has good and bad side. You can remember that when God, after creation, we learned that devil, Satan, created a line up in heaven, trying to doubt God, and was put down to earth, where he continued trying to segregate us so that people cannot go to heaven with temptations. He tried Adam. So before us, there was Abel. He came down to earth to usurp his chance, his angelical powers, to stop some of us going to heaven. So be it. But Jesus Christ came, trying to redeem the world. The Pharisees, who knows that somebody like that is coming, they didn't want Jesus to be. They planned through Herod, killing everybody under 2 years in Israel at that time. And by God, Jesus survived. In the same way, as early as 326 AD, after Christ, the Judaism had a lot of problems from Christianity, from Roman Catholic, where they declared them as heretics, aberration, madness, that their church is nonsense, that is of devil. Finally, the Roman Catholic started creating secret cows. That's what I mean by secret cows. And those people, the insiders, who will usurp this power to achieve their own aim, they started killing the Christians. I and you know that at a stage, the Portuguese and the Spain were able to sell their empire to Papal Rome in Rome. Now, this thing continued to the extent that they changed church from Sabbath, resting day from Sabbath to Sunday. You see, they have aim by the hating Judaism, who say that resting day is Saturdays, which is Sabbath day. The Roman Catholics now turn it to Sunday. They have achieved something. Then, therein, the secret cows promulgated the law that anybody who is preaching against what they told them in their doctrine will be killed. And they started killing people. So all in neighborhood of so this is really bad side of evil. God created us, asked us to worship Him. He created us on His image, but some people came. They want to hide the Bible. They don't want people to read. That time, if you read Bible, which is not, we are not ordained, you'll be killed. They say you are sabotaging them. So this thing come to pass. I remember that like 1725, or thereabout, during the Dark Age, one Constantine, we know that from Merchant of Venice, one Constantine was a very powerful emir, very powerful emperor, who took over from Augustus Caesar. This young man wanted to go for war. He dreamt of seeing cross on the sun. Based on that, he now ordered all soldiers, the Roman soldiers, to wear cross and go to the war. When they went to this war conquer, he was very happy. He now decided that the Roman Catholic is the best thing that God can do. So he gave power to the bishops, who now handed over to Pope, the Papal man, to rule the world. And they started, there were atrocities. Then Martin Luther come up trying to interpret Bible so that everybody will know what Bible said. These were not happy, they want to kill him. Then a lot of them come up. Then there were interpretation of Bible in English and Germany, even in Spain, by Martin Luther. He became the leader of Protestants. And from that time on, even the emperor in Germany couldn't kill him because he knows he's a professor, a well-given professor and a monk. So that how can the Catholic order with the monk? So Martin Luther ended up this problem with creating Protestantism. It did not end the started, the party line of started Siemens against Protestants against Roman Catholic. See, by this time there was no Igbo in Umueri, not in the Igbo land. It started from abroad. As it affects us here now, there was a time the English people now scrambled for Africa. They brought this back home here. Like for instance, Siemens first came here. Then when Catholics came, they asked their fellow people from France or whatever to give them land to build that organization. They built. At a stage, Catholic come, Siemens came. Then when we were young, they continue quarreling with each other. Like I, who is a member, we used to say Siemens or Okomo that time, Ototo Bozonli, Amasi Borens. We are talking to the entire Siemens. We are condemning the church. The Siemens will say, Father, did this and do that. They could not start in Nigeria, in Africa, in Anambra State. In this view, I know Ewodo or party something started from the church. And up to today, the church are in politics. I will tell you that any church today, if you are going to this church, they will castigate you. Don't go this, don't do that. But I know when we are worshiping one God, why should church impregnate party politics, line up Eholo? So in Igbo land, this is what we call Eholo. Like Umwe, for instance, I know there's good Eholo here sometimes. When we are young, we have every age, when you get to say like about 14 years, all the age group will come up. They will unite, then they will divide into two. In those times, some people behave like Fulanis. At a stage, they go to public square, carry cane, they beat each other. Eholo, local one. When they beat finish, the people go, and some people will use the jazz to wound others. This Eholo is bad. So actually, we learn Eholo. We learn this party division from the church, and it's continued. And some time ago, I know from the people here in Umwe, what they call Ejemma, who said Mebuiba Makodama, and the other woman. Ejemma built houses through their group for the town and technical college here. That is beautiful. The other woman is more or less a politician. Ugoba built a house, while Ejemma is a politician, is in government. But Ugoba built house at the technical college. These things are living. So that one who did that, the Ekolo is good because we are seeing the outcome. Do you understand? Sometimes, the same thing happened where we now have Sahara built by one group, and the other group built a dormitory for teachers at St. Gabriel. Those ones are still good. But as time goes on, you find out that the children from this other group and the other one will imbibe what their mother did and continue segregating. As it affects us today, somebody will stand up and say his father is not with your father. Therefore, that is where we enter into bad evolution, or call it wrong lineup. People cannot forget what happened and continue. So as I'm talking to you now, I know the type of Ekolo or party lineups that encompassed Nigeria, Anambra, and Igbo land, and everywhere is no more good. A situation you can arrange with somebody, my friend, let us come and have party. This is PDP, and this is that. The person will create lineup. When there's money coming for everybody, we siphon it and go. Those ones are not good. So, as a matter of fact, it could have been better if we use it to achieve good. You understand?
Chief, actually, I've been kind of fascinated because you went into this long talk about Pharaoh and Herod and Augustus Caesar and who else did you talk about? Constantine and the rest of them. And I was wondering if all this had to do with the what have been the question and the problem I've been trying to grasp with, the problem of Ekolo. So you are saying that Ekolo is actually politics or party politics?
Ekolo is politics, which started from heaven.
So it's not an indigenous, the Ekolo is not an indigenous Umwiri affair, like I supposed.
No, it's not. It's all over. It started from creation.
It started from creation. You said from heaven.
Yes, from Adam. Adam was sent to be tempted by Lucifer, isn't it? God created angels. Among the angels, there was Ekolo. So before Adam, there was Ekolo in heaven. They haven't created Adam. Lucifer tried to get power more than God.
So my problem is this. If you are making a case for the universality that Ekolo, or rather party politics, is a universal phenomenon, then why has it been presented as a local Umwiri affair?
Well, I think you are narrowing. We say Ohu Igbo. Talk Igbo affair. We're not talking about Umwiri alone. Do you understand?
No, when I've had the term used, it has always been in reference to Umwiri. Well, not to Igbo land. It's you now. You are the one now I'm talking about is being universal.
Yes.
But each time I've heard about Ekolo, I've never heard about Ekolo in Onitsha or in Okuzu or in those other neighboring places.
Don't be myopic. There's Ekolo everywhere.
No, you are telling me now that it's a universal phenomenon that even started in heaven.
But we should practice good work. It's a party something. Think about party in Abuja. We have this. The moment the people win, there will be caucus. Then Ekolo don't come. That's what I'm saying. But now I told you that any good Ekolo is good, but bad one is skeleton.
So how do you differentiate between the good Ekolo and the bad Ekolo?
Any Ekolo or party will form for good, and on the long run you win and you follow it. It's a good one. That's why I mentioned here is. I tell you, when we are young, some women gather their women folk.
So if Ekolo, what I'm saying now is Ekolo is an Igbo word for party politics.
That is the same thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
no, but you don't hear it. You don't hear the term being used. Like, they say Ndorondoro Chichi or something like that. If, for what I'm saying now is that Igbos have an indigenous word for party politics, Ekolo. Why is it not being applied?
I want to tell you one thing.
Yes.
What they call it is youth. Mpot. Buibo. Mbotu means party. You form party. They form parties with different ideologies. You do understand? It's the same thing. You can come in a town and have several groups of parties, lineups. But what is there is that it has been from creation. But this now, which one is good? Some are killing, some are devilish. But Ekulu has to be refined. From there, you have to make progress.
Okay,
what you tell people before,
what has to be refined? Is it the local, the Ekulu, ala Umweri, the Umweri version of Ekulu, or the universal?
Mark you universal, because we are talking of Igbo land here. Not
so what I want to be assured of is that Ekulu is not peculiar to Umweri.
No,
it's not a peculiar Umweri phenomenon.
That's why I said from creation we have these things. But if you are myopic, then you make your own killing. You understand? Take for instance, some time ago, somebody from Umweri here, Elias Chowoma, Paul Chowoma, came back from nowhere, started repairing those. Saban making that several too. What is expected of you? If you don't like it, go and do your own.
Is that an instance of Ekulu?
No, the person did well. But some people, instead of doing their own now, they will stay aside.
So that is what I'm saying. That is healthy competition. This person is starting one road, then you pick another road, yes, and that. Is that Ekulu?
People see it as like if you are building your own road. Personally, I know you are doing it to achieve some aim. I wouldn't like it. I will now start grudging, telling people this thing, trying to make nonsense of that thing you are doing. The person is advised to do his own. Do you understand me now? So that both things will make.
So what you're saying is that the person that is building road and other person building a hospital, the same Ekulu Kabane.
No, the parties, the person doing it is doing something good as he designed it.
Yes.
The other man hospital doing it as he designed it.
But no Ekulu is Ekulu.
No, you have to say Ekulu there. But now that person doing party something, let's say we are in meeting, we decided to create road.
Yes.
So at a stage, we are trying, maybe I bring more money. Somebody will fear that I'm trying to
overshadow them.
The person will create another lineup. That is what I mean. It is everywhere in the world. It is Umweri, it is everywhere.
So it's not a peculiar Umweri thing?
No, it can't be now. We talk about Igbo culture, Igbo people here, not Umweri alone. But you can make reference.
So what would be your recommendations if we were to positively utilize
the lineup of it? My suggestion is that if somebody bring good thought or flower of thought, propose something and put it down on the table for a party or a particular group who want to do it. We have meetings. We have people building, making a shape everywhere. So this thing, I'm advising all of them. If somebody says something good, there's no point trying to, to spoil it by going side by side, collecting people against it. You say your mind, everybody bring out his mind. When they come out, when there's gain, let everybody put it on the table. As we started, this reminds me, the people we call Otimbu. Do you understand? This Otimbu we are talking about started in the north, before our people here. You see an Hausa man, Emir, when he want to come out, you see somebody who carry all his cloth put down, say, let him march. He's trying to promulgate, he's trying to make that Emir greater than others, isn't it? We don't do it here anymore now. But recently, people started. If you have money, you throw money away, people will rush, they think you are all and all. There are some people who are learned, who has the money, they don't throw away, they imagine what to do and produce something and throw it to the world for betterment of the world. Such people are not regarded as anybody because they are not throwing money away. But economic sense tells us that money is not meant for, otherwise give it to somebody instead of throwing it everywhere. You get it?
Yes. Yeah, thank you very much for Chief. I think your contribution has been quite enlightening about this this topic. I'm really comforted by the idea that Ekolo is not a peculiarly Umueri affair.
No, no.
It's not a peculiarly Igbo affair, that it is a universal thing.
Yeah.
And now, on one hand, you say it's a universal thing. On the other hand, you say that it was imported
to us because
by the church, which means that we were not practicing politics. If you say Ekolo is politics, what you are saying is that we are not practicing politics here. If we were not, before the advent of Christianity, practicing politics, how then did we make political choices, political decisions?
Thank you so much. Listen, in Africa, in Nigeria, in Igbo land particularly, we live in family camps. There was nothing really government like what the people imported to us through the Christianity, through the trade unions from USC, this and that. What people do is that you go with your family, stay in camp. Now plan together. If somebody is stealing, like somebody is taking fish from port, we monitor the person, hold him. We don't carry him outside to go and spoil his name. Until people started congregating, coming together. Do you understand me now? By the time Europeans came here, we don't have any government called Nigeria. It was time union. It wasn't even time, it was age grades and elders ruling the village or town, isn't it?
Yes.
During that time, there was not a whole. What people do is, don't forget, I started telling you the old Stone Age, the Dark Age. That time, it's difficult for you to travel from here to even Apagara here, because people are restricted to their area.
Yes, the lack of transportation and things.
So when you are restricted, you know yourselves until the advent of the Europeans, when they come up with slave trade. Do you understand me now? The people come, hunt people and sell to them, carry money, eat. Because they started bringing sugar. Otherwise, formerly, you can carry your cassava to Oshahi, and now people give you fish, trade by barter. You weigh it, you take it by and go. You get it? But what we both came with milk and honey, sugar, even salt. They started giving it free to people. People like it, and then from there, money coming. Then as they come with their intentions, somebody introduce a problem between two families. They fight and come. And the moment you fight somebody against his will, tomorrow he will not forgive you. You get the point? That is why we have like somebody like Jaja Wachu at the river, somebody from Amiboro going to Parakon because it's powerful. He stayed there and trained people who become the others. People who go and capture people. They are not one entity. Carry boys from the life, treat them, teach them how to fight, give them gun. When they see you don't have gun, they empower you. So I'm telling you, all these things were imported from abroad. Because by the time Jesus Christ was born, anybody here didn't know Jesus is coming. Do you understand me now? But yes. Because Sadducees in Judaism, they know it. They want to kill him. So that idea of killing somebody because he knows more than you. Do you understand me now? It's a group. It's a party formed. They decided again, then ask Herod to kill, and Herod did that. You get the point?
I get your point.
So from there, Judaism started first by God. Jesus Christ came and created Catholic, isn't it?
And created Catholic?
No, Catholic. It's Catholic mission now. Roman Catholic.
Okay. Okay.
He created that one. Then they were jealous of the former church. But the former church doesn't want Jesus to come. Do you understand me? So everything started from church. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't know you were a theologian. I didn't know you were a theologian. Well, we were not going to a discussion of the theology aspect of it. What we are interested is the cultural part of it and the challenge of helping me to understand the concept of Ekolo, because so let's end with this point. Like I said, there is quite a negative connotation on the term Ekolo. And in your discourse now, you have mentioned politics And from the example, you have not used the term actually, but the examples you have given point to rivalry, healthy rivalry, where a person does one thing, another person or group do something else, and there is a come and go that leads into continuous improvement as these two people try to outdo one another. That is rivalry, you know. So at what point then did Ekwulu take on this negative connotation?
Okay, like I told you, by coming together, the family governments, village governments now, like those started ruling by age grade in Umueri or Omabala area. I can tell you, I can swear that the formally what we do is at the age of 12, 13, the people, whether you are anywhere, you will come back to come and you carry stick, they beat you up.
Even, and that was happening even when Christianity, colonialism and Christianity had not come.
No, they have come.
No. Okay. What about at the beginning, when we had this age mates? Did we not have this age mate government before the church came?
Listen, the first one was family government.
Yes.
Which, that is why you see, maybe Umueri started somewhere.
Yes.
And born somebody move to somewhere. Those ones there, born their Peking. He has, before he come to age group, this man and the children the same month, born the same month, we join.
Yes.
With different ideas and ideas.
Yes.
Now, I'm telling you that by the time you have, these people with church coming, there was no Ekwulu here in this town. No Ekwulu.
No, but what I want to establish is that we had the age grade government long before the church came in, long before colonialism came in, and within the church. So, in the process of deciding who will be Isiobo and things like that, were there not contests among to determine who will be the leader of the age grade?
That is what I want to come in now.
Was it not Ekwulu that helped to determine? You and I were born maybe in the same year, but you are a few months older than I am. And as nature has it, I happen to be, you are older than me by a few months, but I happen to have a larger stature than yourself. You know? And then the question comes, who is going to be the leader of the age grade? Is it you that are 3 months older than myself, or myself that have an imposing stature?
Okay, some time ago I told you.
Was this scenario, was it not playing out before the advent of the church, colonialism and the church?
I'll come in there now.
Yes.
One thing is...
And was it not Ekwulu?
I told you sometime.
Yes.
That what we call Odinama is part of culture. That one you're talking about is part of our culture. Do you know how it comes? When you are a child, during the festivals, you come and your mother will carry you, make that this man don't win, beg, people are happy and go. Nobody kills anybody for that.
Yes. Yeah? Yes.
But I was telling you, Ekwulu, part one, that's the ones who started killing people, thousands abroad, and come back here and introduce good something for us and introduce Ekwulu. What we do is terrible that time here is that a child born the same time, the mother will carry like this boy now. My wife born, they will come the same age. They will come for Lily always something like that. You will carry something, make it. When the mama, hey, this one don't win, everybody goes, everybody's happy. You understand me now? And that time, if anybody like grown-ups, if you happen to trample somebody on the ground down, you will run away out of shame to look for better future. There are people in Umueri here who become millionaires because they were thrown to the ground. And they don't kill people. So that Ekwulu is not the one I'm talking. We have Ekwulu, our own is good one, formally, until we both came. Because our vision is...
So now you are modifying. You are modifying. No. So you agree that we had our indigenous Ekwulu
we had good
that was healthy.
Yes.
Indigenous political system.
Yes.
Of choosing leaders and things that's indigenous to us and which we have been practicing before. So that what actually came with colonialism and the church is the bad the bad part. I'm still putting bad in quote because you are the one saying it, I'm not the one saying it.
Do you know why I say bad? That time, Catholic refused to allow everybody to read Bible. Sorry to say this. They leave it to priests and bishops. Then Martin Luther King, who was a monk, a professor, now see to it that he has taught no way. Then he wrote books, interpreted Bible in German. They catch him to kill. But because the country is happy, they refuse killing him because he has done something good. Everybody in Germany started reading Bible. It's not left for Latin alone. Do you understand? So that is Ebolo. His own Ebolo is good. Now, opposite Catholic Ebolo, it's good Ebolo.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. Unfortunately, I'm just warming up to your topic, and I'm enjoying your discourse, but unfortunately, we've run out of time, and maybe we'll take this. I still have one or two aspects of it I want us to delve into, but clearly we cannot do it today, so we'll have to take a break and come back some other time. Also, we want contributions from our listeners, from our people who have seen this video and heard your arguments. We want reactions. We want contributions. So we allow some time for them to be able to get back to us with feedback on it. And if there is somebody outside you that are listening out there, you have something to add or to modify in what Chief John Egwon has been telling us here about the nature, the origins of Ehwolo, which he has said is party politics. We would like to hear from you. We would like to hear from you. We want you to have your say about it as we continue to have this discourse and interrogate these issues. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Chief, for your time and for your views. And you out there, certainly you know that without you there will be no us. We're only doing this because you have shown that you are interested in what we are doing. So once again, I want to ask for feedback from you. We want to ask for contributions. If you have your own side of this issue and you would like to make it known, kindly contact us so that we can make an appointment here at Airy House, and you'll be able to share your views. And again, if you like what we are doing, as I know that a lot of people out there do, they have gotten in touch to say they like what we are doing, and you want to support us, one very good way you can do it is by subscribing to this channel. If you just look a little below this video, you will see the word subscribe in red. Just touch it, click on it, and you will be subscribed. It is free of charge, entirely free of charge. So it doesn't cost you anything, but it will go a long way towards supporting us, giving us support and encouragement that we need to continue to do this work. Also, we'll appreciate any criticism, I would say good or bad, creative or not creative. Let's leave that to God. That you have ideas of how we might improve. We'll certainly like to hear from you. So while we're waiting to hear from you, thank you very much. This is the Center for Research in Igbo History and Culture. Today is Sunday, the 15th of August, and we are saying goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.